Hi, I'm Jeff Smith, and I'm in the kitchen of the Governor's Palace in Williamsburg, Virginia. A wonderful place. Later on, we're going to come back here and cook some dishes for you that go back 200 years in our culture. But first, please join me in my own American colonial kitchen. Christmas is the most wonderful time, isn't it? It's filled with memories of flavors past and anticipation of flavors to come. At Christmas Eve, I become very nostalgic for lutefisk and all sorts of things that I remember from my childhood. But at the moment, I'm into American history. We're in the midst of a kitchen that was designed in about 1720, 1730. Colonial kitchen. Terribly, terribly American. Most of these things came from England to start with. But the flavors that came from this kitchen at Christmas time must have been wonderful things. Wonderful. I brought some young friends in here to tell them about what used to go on in this very place. Now, here is a kitchen that was made about 1720. The kind of kitchen that your I think I had 4 greats, grandmothers would have cooked in. Fascinating place. And it's Christmas time. What's wrong with this place? What's missing? What is it?
A Christmas tree.
Jamie, why is there no Christmas tree?
Because they didn't have the old days.
Would you want to have Christmas without a Christmas tree?
No.
I wouldn't either. But in 1720, it was not common to have Christmas trees at all. That was a German custom that came to us much later. What is it? We want to say something. Go ahead. What was it? Yes, the wreaths. Yes. I don't think we should call them wreaths. They're called runners that they made of greens. The greens were wonderful things, yes. Aren't they beautiful?
They should call them zigzaggers.
They look like zigzaggers to me, too. But that's how you decorate it. But no tree, not until about 1850. Now, can you imagine cooking in such a kitchen? The kind that your great-great-great-grandma used to do? Look at this. If she was going to boil water for tea, she would use a trivet. That means 3 feet, doesn't it? And you have a fire under here, and that would boil the water. She doesn't have a stove. Is that a wild thing to think about? And she always had to lean over to do things. It must have been awful work. And look at this. Here's a griddle, kids, that you would fry on if you were going to fry pancakes or something. And a big kettle full of boiling water because she didn't have a hot water heater. And here's a wonderful thing. Inside, you see, it was just a big kettle. And you'd put this in a fire, a little fire of coals underneath, and then on the top, you would add some more charcoal. It's hot, you see some coals, and that's the way you would get heat on both sides. And it's a Dutch oven. You could make pies in this, you could make little cakes, you could make all sorts of things, and you always got very dirty. Amazing way to cook, but it must have been interesting. Must have been, all right, now, what would you have eaten on that Christmas? What would you have? Go ahead, just tell. Turkeys are very American.
Corn.
Yeah, well, let's go through them slow. Slow down here. Turkeys are very American. Nobody else in the world had turkeys. Apple came later on, but they are American. Who gave us the pumpkin? Who gave the Americans, the Europeans the pumpkin? Who?
The Indians.
The Indians, of course, Stephanie. The Indians gave the pumpkin to us. Who helped us understand the peanut? The people who came from Africa. The American blacks. The Indians gave us peanut.
Oranges from Florida.
Oranges, not from Florida. You know where they came from, Craig? We used to trade with the West Indies. And we got oranges. The only time you would see an orange is at Christmas time. They were so expensive that on Christmas time, one of your big presents would be, oh, look, I got an orange for Christmas. Can you imagine? Would you have had ice cream?
No.
No ice cream. Oh, I don't want to live without Christmas trees and ice cream. I don't want to at all. I'll tell you what. Let me show you one more thing. Look at all the beautiful dishes and crockery and things. Look what I have. This was what your great-great-great-great-grandfather would have worn. Look at this. Can you believe this? This is what he would have worn. What are you laughing at, Ian? This is what he would have worn when he would go to work. He was probably, he could have been a carpenter or maybe a gunsmith. You see the gun that's up here? He would go hunting. Maybe he was a cobbler. Had very basic kinds of jobs in the colonies. Well, shall we go cook?
Yeah.
All right, what do you want to cook? Tell me.
Christmas cookies.
Christmas cookies might be a good choice, but we're not going to do that. Guess what?
Pumpkin
We're not going to do apple pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie, we're not going to do pumpkin pie.
Turkey.
We're not going to do turkey.
Corn.
We're not going to do corn.
Peanuts.
Which?
Cranberry sauce.
We're not going to do peanuts. We're not going to do cranberries.
Stuffing.
We're not going to do stuffing. You still haven't guessed it yet.
Any kind of pie.
No pies.
Any kind of
Cake?
pork.
No
Kind
pork.
of juice.
No. Okay.
Is it cold cuts?
He was serious. He'd rather have cold cuts. I think it'd be wonderful to serve all the things they wanted, but I am going to cook some interesting things for you today, but certainly not here. Not because it isn't fun or beautiful or because it isn't a lovely place in which to be, but it's too much work to do this. I couldn't take it. So I want to go to my own kitchen, and that's precisely what I'm going to do. Will you come and help me? Come on. Got to get my helpers in here. We're going to do some Christmas cooking, and you don't really know what we're doing, do you? You're not sure what we're going to be cooking, but one of the wonderful things, let me show you something. One of the wonderful things that you would have had years and years ago, 1720, in your stocking for Christmas time would have been this great treasure. We take it very nonchalantly now. What do you call it?
An orange.
Exactly. You guys win. There's one for you and one for you. Now, give me a knife and I'll show you what we're going to do. Can I use yours? Thank you. Stephanie, I'll show you how to peel this. You want to take the peel off of the orange because we're going to turn it into candy. And this was a great Christmas treat. Take the peel off the orange thusly. I have 3 or 4 pieces, you see. Bottom and the top. You ever done this with an orange? It's, big deal. You come to visit my kitchen and I teach you how to peel an orange. Big deal. Well, here's what I want to do. There we go. Did you get squirted? You did? It's okay to say I was squirted. That's all right. What we're going to do now is to cook these. I've got a whole pile of these already cleaned. You see? Just take the peel off. Boy, this is a sticky orange. Look out. We're all going to be killed here. There we are. We're going to make our own Christmas candy because in the old days in the colonies, there wasn't a candy man. There was no such thing. So we're going to get a pile of there's a whole bunch back here. There we are. We're going to put these in a saucepan. I have enough for about 4 different oranges here. A couple more. You can also do these with lemon. Do you like lemon, Stephanie?
No.
You don't like lemon? How'd you get on this? You don't like lemon?
No, because it's sour.
Oh, all right. Good point. She doesn't like lemon because it's sour. Guess what? I'll show you how to make sweet lemon. Can you believe me? First, we're going to peel our orange. Here it is. Here's the pan we want. I'll show you guys how to do the job here. See what I've done? I've simmered the orange peel in water, in about a cup of water, so for about 20 minutes. And now what I have to do, use a spoon, and I want to scrape out the pulp. Whoops, I put a hole in that one. Leave it to me. You have to be very careful. You see, scrape out the pulp. See what happens? And we'll put that on the plate and do another one. You guys want to get started? I'll get you a spoon. Here you go. All right. Ian, I'll get you a spoon. Where's your spoon? What did I do with it? Here. Let's see. Here's one for you. Use a larger one. Go ahead and start scraping some out, and then I'll show you how to cut them. You can do this at home. It takes very little time, and it's a wonderful thing. Wonderful candy. Have you ever had candied orange peel? In the old days, we used to put it in fruitcake. My mother made tons of fruitcake every Christmas. 8 tons. Oh. She'd want me to eat all of it, and I just couldn't do it. Okay, that's great. Let me show you how to cut them up now. After we've taken all the white pulp out, you're doing... hey, gang, secret about good cooking. Don't ever bang on the side of a pan with a metal spoon because you'll dent the pan if it's a good pan. Someone in that family is going to be mad at you. I'm not. But if I see you doing that again, you're in trouble, huh? Oh, boy, you're in trouble. All right, let's cut them up. We'll just get the old peel. I want to cut them into little sticks. There we are. This is... It's all right for you to do this, too. Bring your kids into the kitchen. So what if there's crowding and pushing? Have a good time. That's what the holidays are for. We're going to cut the orange peel, which we've cooked, you see. It's tender and nice now. And most of the harshness of the orange peel flavor, was in that white pulp that you scraped out. So now you have something very sweet. Now, we're going to add a cup of sugar to the juice that's left over and cook that down. Then put the peel, look at this, put the peel in the pan and simmer it for about 20 minutes more in sugar syrup. And, oh, well, you'll just have to taste. While Stephanie and I put some sugar on these, why don't you go around behind the Christmas tree? You'll find a whole batch that we finished earlier. We've been cooking. I tell you, we've been cooking. This is no fly-by-night operation here. Stephanie, we need a colander and a bowl. Here, I'll drain that for you. You're going to find some sugar. Should be a big canister of it here somewhere. There it is. It's in that bowl. Okay. Find it? All right. Good, good, good. All right. Boy, you're on the ball. I wasn't ready for you, friend. Let me just set these down. You want to get me another one? There should be some lemon back there. All right, now, let's drain this. I need another bigger bowl for it, because I want you to get your fingers into this. Did you wash your hands?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, well, then do that right now. You got to stay ahead. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. Now, the fun part in this recipe, you get to get your fingers into it. See, I've drained the syrup off the candied peel now. Now we need to add enough sugar to cause this to crystallize. Can you imagine kids eating this how many 100 years ago? 250 years ago? This is a great Christmas treat. All right, mix it up with your fingers. Just toss. Wait a minute, how'd you get in there? You didn't wash your hands yet. All right, go to it, kiddo. You have to watch these guys, you know. Roll it underneath. Roll it underneath so that you very gently, you want to crystallize it. That's it. Okay. And some wax paper. And then we'll spread this out to dry. Who said 18 fingers spoil the broth? Not at Christmas time. Not at Christmas time. Okay, let's just roll that out on a bit of wax paper. Spread them right out. Very gently now. Put them right on the paper. That's fine. You can do more than one at a time there, Ian. That's all right. This is only a 2-day show. All right? That's looking good. Now, after you spread these out, well, let me show you what happens when they dry. I think that's enough to get us going. Okay? Let's take these off the counter. Go ahead, taste it. Taste it. Stick it right in your mouth. What? What does mean? What do you think?
Good.
I'm sorry you're so shocked. What do you think?
Tastes like orange peels.
Is she on salary? I don't understand this. All right. Here's a whole plate, just a big platter. I don't want that one. I want this one. Ian, will you get that tan plate there and put it on the counter? Can you manage that? Great. He's still licking his fingers, too. This should help. Put it right on the counter, friend. Thank you. That's perfect. Okay. All right. Now let's make a big display of these. You put lemon on your half, and you put, because you don't like lemon, all right? And you put orange on your half, and we'll be ready for Christmas morning. There. Isn't that beautiful stuff? This dried, after we put the sugar on it, Stephanie, we let it dry for about 4 or 5 hours. See, and then the sugar will set up again. Isn't that beautiful? You can't find it nice and moist and fresh like that if you buy it in the store. That's okay. Don't worry about it. A couple of lemons on the floor on Christmas should be perfectly appropriate. That's good. All right. Let's set this out in front of us. That's enough. That's fine. There we go. Do you want to taste the lemon now? Please do it for me. Well, where are you working tomorrow? I don't know. Even jolly old St. Nicholas couldn't beat that look, I'll tell you. Wow. All right. Let's try another one. What? Sure, go ahead and rinse off your hands while I preach a short sermon about corn. Who gave us corn?
The Indian?
The American Indian, of course. The original American citizen. And one of the great treasures that you would have had on a Christmas morning or on Christmas Eve would be a wonderful Indian pudding. And this is what we need. My big white mix